Welcome to Ideas in Motion, the show, usually recorded live. This is a recorded version, though. However, I did something a little bit different. Last week, I talked about how we were going to dive into creating boundaries around your smartphone. I kind of hinted on that, and I decided to do that next week. You see, I was looking at some of my older content, and I stumbled across a live broadcast I did last year on Instagram and Facebook. And I did it, it was 2 weeks into the pandemic. And I remember back then, like there was so much uncertainty going on. I thought I would share it, number one, because of the message in, really the value in your gifts and giving and sharing your special light with the world. And also the message of uncertainty and adaptation. And both of those are very important to hold on to as we work towards that big thing that we want to do with our lives in the means of purpose. So I chose this one. There's this girl, she's on YouTube. I'll see if I can find her channel. I'll link the specific video below. And she is a comedian, and what she does is she has all kinds of different skits. But she did a pandemic skit about, and she's done a series of them, about her future self coming to talk to herself before the pandemic hit, and just warning, not really even warning, but keeping things secret, trying to keep things under wraps. And it's a really funny message, especially the first one, about how it's like the things that we take for granted, the little things that we take for granted, and the scheduling and all the stuff that we have planned for our future, and then have everything just kind of juggled up in the air. And we've all kind of found this interesting year, right? Everybody has been on all of these different journeys. So it was interesting to look back on that day. It was the end of March. We were getting ready for our conference. Everything had flipped virtual. So we were doing that. And I remember just like, it was the beginning days. And, it was like everybody stay home for spring break. And then there was the thought that the pandemic would be over after spring break. We just got to stay home for 2 weeks, and then everything's going to return to normal. And then, things start leaking out about everything's not going to be normal for a while. And, what is normal? And now here we are, like 18 months later or 15 months later, I don't know, do the math, a long time later. And we're just starting to be able to open up again, which is a whole other bag of worms. But do you remember in those first days, do you remember, just the pure uncertainty of how this thing was spreading? Like, I remember first, like, I didn't go out to get eye makeup remover because I didn't know how it was spreading. And I'm like, stay home. And when I would go out, I'd come home, I'd take off all my clothes and I'd put them in the washing machine. I would take a shower. We were being told to wash our groceries because there was so much uncertainty and fear in the beginning because of the fact that there was no knowledge of how this thing was getting around. And that was even before masks were mandatory. Now you look in the year and you look at everything that's happened in the last 15 months in your lives, in our lives, in everything around us. And wouldn't you agree? I've been hard pressed to find a person that did not gain some more self-awareness, that did not go through some sort of struggle, whether it be personal, financial. There's so many adverse mountains we have climbed together. So I'd love for you to join me in going back to this message And I will link the video right together with this one. So it'll just keep on playing. You'll notice my hair is a lot shorter. It sure did grow a lot in the year. And it just, it was nice to go back to. And the fact that it's live, I love that, because I'm just, keeping true to the live nature of the show. And actually, I'm calling this show The Power of Your Gifts. And when I recorded this, this was just in the beginning of my personal dive deep discovery, in which I completely detached myself to look deeper inside myself, to really pull out, what is that thing that I'm supposed to be doing? Because I didn't feel like I was doing it. Do we ever feel like we're doing it? And I went into a year of full on self discovery and a lot of work, because I work in the virtual setting. I had already been set up to work remotely. And since everybody was shifting, there was an abundance there. But that kind of brought on a danger period, as you've heard. I mean, from previous shows, it brought on a sense of too much work and not enough time. That's white space, and so that's a danger. So without further ado, I'm just going to stop rambling on. And I'm going to link to the next video. And thank you for staying tuned. I'll see you again next week. And if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe and hit the bell and for notifications and all that stuff, so that you know when I'm going live next. Check it out. Oh yeah, just one more thing. Staying true to this little intro is not edited either. Just saying. So anyways, I would like to share a little something and then ask a couple of questions of you, if you want. Like, you can just hang out. Of course you want to. So I'm reading this book called Turning Pro, and it's by Steven Pressfield, and it's a really, 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 really good book. And I opened up the page and it says, good things happen when we trust the mystery. There is always something in the box. And I thought about that, and it's just like, okay, yeah, I'm trying to trust, right? I'm trying really hard to trust. And it's like, in 1 minute, I feel like everything's good and everything's normal and I'm focused, because this isn't much different than real life. Like real life, I mean, really, it's hard to use my words right now, but I'm naturally quite introverted. I'm an outgoing introvert. My husband and I have been working from home for quite a few years. I, don't need to go out to work. The kids are gone. The kids have grown up and they have homes of their own. And so not much has changed for me in my day-to-day routine. And I'm keeping myself busy. But I find that there's still this essence of, this is just like kind of weird and scary, and so it's like this delicate dance between keeping myself on pace to be positive and working towards the goals and working towards creativity, because I know it all has a bigger purpose, and then sitting with what's like really happening. For example, I took my dog for her walk this morning, and I go super early. I've been waking up at the same time. I've been working out from home for so long because I use Beachbody on demand, and that's still a habit. So I still have my habits and a lot of my anchors in place. But I was walking past the schoolyard. We were cutting through the schoolyard, and FYI, like it's really, really quiet in the morning. Like there's very few people out there. So it just kind of feels like a Sunday morning, or it feels like, spring break naturally feels like, because the school's not open. But I come across the field and I see the playground has tape around it. And it's caution, do not cross. And my immediate thought was discomfort. And then I thought, and just like, I think the longer we're sitting with this, we're actually realizing that, there's blessings, and then with the fact that we have more time at home, and then there's realities, and there's an intersection of that where we're all faced with massive uncertainty. And if there's one thing that I know about massive uncertainty, is that there's always something on the other side. And if there's one thing that I know for sure, is that we as human beings are very adaptable. So as I was sitting in that thought of, oh my gosh, like this feels surreal, thoughts of the Twilight Zone comes into my head, and I stopped myself and I said, no, Karen, like what else does it mean? And the second thing that it means is security. So, we can choose to look at everything being closed and everything, looking at the bare playgrounds with the tape across it, and knowing that events and everything is getting canceled. And that can be, it is what it is, but it's also a huge, we can use it as comfort. Like we're really being looked after. So although sometimes it might feel, even for me, I feel like I'm a really strong, positive warrior, but dang, sometimes there's that intersection, right? Where it's just like, frick, pardon me. Why am I like so distracted over everything lately? And why can't I stay on task? And why am I eating more? All of these things, vices and stuff that there's this special intersection, is what I'm saying, between keeping our minds quiet and staying calm, and actually sitting in what is actually really happening. And both of those things can be very uncomfortable or very calming. You can keep yourself incredibly busy, but at some point, we're going to have to understand that change is on the horizon. And we don't know what that looks like. But this is also a time to look at the things and look at the places that you are, where you are in your life, and take stock of your gifts. Because I know the first thing that I do when I help a client, I ask them, what is that thing? What is that gift? Because whatever that gift is, it's usually something that we don't make time for. And it's also usually something that fuels us, that makes us feel energetic and makes us feel calm. And so it's really, really important at this point to connect with whatever that is. I think at any point it is, because then you know where your safe zone is. Like right now, there's a whole lot of uncertainty, and with uncertainty, we feel not grounded. So in order to feel grounded, it's about tapping into that creative thing, tapping into the wellness, in my opinion, and what's worked for me before, is it's also a time to be really kind to ourselves. So I know that right now it's very, very difficult. There's a lot of uncertainty, and I think that in this point, in this day right now, in this time right now, some of the leaders that we look up to are in the same sense of uncertainty as we are. And I know that makes me feel uncomfortable. So I feel like when we share our gifts, that when we share the things that we think are, I know for me, it's the same kind of uncertainty when I've made a product, when I've written a book, when I've developed a course, and I sit in the uncertainty and I think that it's not good enough. And I feel that it's not going to be liked or received well, or I still need to work on it, and I hold it close to my chest. And I feel like this is the time where imperfect to me doesn't matter, that it's an obligation, that if I feel as though it's going to serve somebody somehow, this is the time to be as giving as we possibly can. I remember when I first started out in network marketing. I've always been in sales, right? And when I first started out in network marketing, I would be like, I'm not really good at selling. I don't like to sell. I just want to help people. And so in this moment, anybody out there that feels that they have something to give, like, no one's going to judge you. I always felt judged because people says, Karen, that's not a business way of looking. If you just want to give everything away, you're basically saying that you're not worthy of receiving. And I'm like, okay, I can accept that, but I still just want to help, and that's in the intuitive nature. So, I think everybody feels judged every once in a while, and I know one of the things that I can give is I can give time. I can give the things that I have on the back shelf that that I've written intending to help other people, and I can just give it all away. I feel like I'm not going to be judged for giving. So I don't know really where I'm going with that, but it's just like it's interesting because a lot of times creators or people that are creating or in a mindset or in a genre that they want to help others, they're doing what they love, yet it's difficult to receive money for things that they love, that they feel that they would give for free anyways. I guess what I'm saying is don't hold back. You have an idea. You have a light. You have something that you can share with other people. Let's get that idea in motion. If you're watching this to the end, thank you. If you know me the way I know you know me, is that I am unfiltered. I say what it is, that's just the way I am. And sometimes I don't make sense. And sometimes it takes me a long time to get to the point. But I also know with practice, I will get better. What I would love to hear from you is if you have something that is on your heart that it's like, this is ready. I am ready to just gift this out because I know it's going to help somebody. We're going to get your idea in motion. And what I want to know from my followers is I want to know, what avenue are you looking for first? Because like, what's going to happen when everybody's done cleaning their entire house? We're all in this together. And that I think I've taken up enough of your time. I have to get to work today. I've been so distracted. between the intersections of reality and keeping a healthy mindset. Just tell me to get off social media because that's my vice. That's the thing that I go to as an addiction that numbs my brain. Okay, so I'm going to read this out loud. This is coming in from Instagram. So, you're not alone. This has been really messaging with my mental state. So I love that you're doing this. I'm trying to show people that I have available, and it's like I can't get out of my own head to promote it. Yeah. So like, and it's so true. So let's just do it together. Like I know we have things on the back of the digital shelf. If you're a creator, you're a heart-centered giver, and you are someone that has a message, an idea, and something that's really close to your heart, that you want to serve other people to do it, I guarantee what you have is awesome. Yet we sit on it and we wait because imperfect feels uncertain. If there's ever a time that a fraction of how amazing you are gets out into the world to help another, the time is now. I feel like I'm on a rant. Am I on a rant? I'm excited about this. And for me, it's helping me get up in the morning, put my 2 feet on the ground and say, today is going to be an awesome day. And right now, that's what I need. So I know I'm pretty sure there's people out there that need that too. I love you too. Okay. So let's get your idea in motion. Thank you for listening to this, and thank you for being here, and thank you for being in my circle, because I think you're loved. I know you're loved. Okay, take care. Bye.